In an ancient time, when a terrible evil threatens the land, only one man can save the world.
Say what? Get out of here.
What? What's the meaning of this?
Oh, we'll just take off that broken record.
I say.
Here, hold my earrings while I take this monster down. I've got your back, darling. We just might burn down this town. Oh no, oh yeah. When you're up against a challenge and you need a helping hand, we've got an arsenal of fireballs, steel stilettos, and a cat. Oh yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Here Hold My Earrings. My name's Al, and I'm your DM today. With me are Henrietta, Yvonne, Laura, Daria, Sophie, and Ida. Henrietta?
Hi, I'm Henrietta. I'm from Norway, and I play Mealy, a moon elf wizard.
You're right there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay. Like that lack of sleep is really getting to you, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see if Yvonne trips up. Yvonne?
Hi, I'm Yvonne from Canada, and I play Cracker, a half-orc barbarian fighter.
It's going to get better as we go further south. Laura?
Hello, I'm Laura from Germany, and I play Byleth, a tiefling wizard.
We're never going to get out of the intro phase. Daria?
Hello, I'm Daria. I'm from Poland and I play a tiefling sorcerer named Zenis.
What the hell's going on?
So different.
They've all been infected by the black mold. All right, Sophie.
Hi, my name is Sophie. I'm from Wales, and I play a human wizard named Charlotte.
Okay, very good.
Stop laughing!
I'm sorry. It's just you guys. You all sound like it's like Bizarro World. You guys are doing opposite day or something. All right, Ida. I can always count on you to be my rock.
Hi, I'm Ida. I'm from Sweden, and I play Lilith, a wood elf cleric.
Who is highly allergic to Poland. Oh, that would be hilarious as a wood elf cleric if you had like serious allergies. Constantly using like magic to try to dispel all the allergens, like all the pollen in the air. Why did it have to be a wood elf?
Yeah.
I feel like if you were a wood elf, you should have like real power, like resistance to pollen or something. That would actually be a superpower.
Sure would.
Non-allergy girl or something. Yeah, very good. Okay, so take it away.
All right. Okay, well, we open up the game with a zombie biting Mealy's face while the black mold infects her. And Cracker keeps fighting her way through zombie after zombie. And with magic missiles, mind spikes, and flames a-flying, we watch as Mealy dies. We watch as Mealy dies, just to emphasize that part. We panic at the sight of ooze and black mold pouring out of her nose, eyes, and mouth. And we race to save our lives as we hack and blast away at these horror shows. And Mealy rises again to turn her cold, dead eyes on Charlotte. And Rua can't work out what's going on, so she's helping Charlotte defend herself against her former friend while she shoots her in the face with some gentle magic missiles. And in a few moments, we kind of stand in silence, surrounded by ooze, black mold, and a dead friend. And Lilith discovers that we have a scroll of raised dead and revives Mealy, who, after hearing a rather stern warning about her lack of results from Caransley, she's penalized with weaker attacks and one less spell slot. And Charlotte cleans her up from a distance while expressing her joy at her recovery. And we're still surrounded by the pods, and we kind of ponder the pods and their weird ability to disgorge seemingly endless dwarven bodies to fight us. And Lilith checks out the pods, and they give off kind of an overripe, disgusting melon rotting smell, and discovers that these undead are coming from some sort of pocket dimension, sort of related to the black mold, collecting trace elements of like sick necrotic magic signatures. And it's kind of like a network of spores. And Zenith scouts below us and reports back that in the main hall, all is lost, taken over by more fungal monstrosities and many, many more pods and bones and kind of sad things. And Gauntlegrim has obviously fallen. And Cracker suggests that we jump in the pool back at the fan and see if we can follow the current to find another way into the Underdark if there are no survivors. And Zenith sends a message. Hello, King. Are you alive? What happened? Is anyone else alive? Where are you? And his reply is slow and kind of mumbly. Who is this? Mind unclear. Mold. Need help. Throne room. Water. Kill mold. Save us, please. So just running away isn't such a great option. We all decide to wipe these pods before trying to find him. And so in this little area here, we're using fire and magic missiles and some bashing, and we get through the last 2 pods at the top of the opposite stairs, and out pops 3 drow. And once they're able to stand, we find out that they follow Lulth, call Gauntlegrim Q Zaloran, and introduce themselves as clerics Jal Indrin, Vandry, and the male fighter is Brack. After a tense conversation, we find out that they took over Gauntlegrim in 1462. The dwarves came back 20 years later to turn it into Gauntlegrim, but these drow are working to turn it back to... now I just immediately forgot what I said about the name of what they're turning... Q Zalaran, or whatever it is. Okay. They've been hiding from ghosts and dwarves, but they will still make this the sister city to Menzo Baranzan. Meanwhile, quietly in the background, Zenith sends a mind letter to the former Archmage of Menzo Baranzan, Visery Devere, about the drow, and he responds with a whack-a-pomp and nonsense, but later clears it up a bit. And these drow are from the House of Zalaran, as the 5th house of Menzo Baranzan, famous wizards, and an ally of Baenir. They took over Gauntlegrim and the Forge. And we asked them if they know the way to the throne room, and they do, and they want to take it back. And obviously, we're going to try and find the king, so... They say that we should meet the matron mother, Zareth. And that's a little ominous. Byleth casts a tiny hut, and Mealy hisses to her not to include the drow, and Byleth tells them that this is a down-level hut, only able to fit us. Yay! They're curious, but not disbelieving, which is fortunate. So Mealy could cut a bitch with her side eyes to these guys. She hates them. We get in the hut, we take a nap, Zenith shares her news, and a while later, we hear a little tap, 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 and Cracker pokes her head out to find out what's up. The drow say, we hear music through that wall over there. And that's where we leave off. The end.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. Yes. They report that they hear music. Now, you can't hear it because, as you will notice, your little... what did you call it there, Laura? What did Byleth call it?
It's a
Not
minuscule hut.
minuscule hut, yes. Which, surprisingly, a drow house known for its famous magicians and wizards doesn't know that that isn't a real thing. But luckily, there are 2 women who tend to be more of the clergy and a young male who seems to be a fighter. So you got a bit lucky with that one. The rest of you can't hear anything at all, right? Because part of the magic of the tiny hut is that it does also muffle sound. The only one who potentially could hear it is Cracker, because her head's outside and she's talking to them. A la, I'm in the shower. But she's also quite far away, and they seem to be indicating over here somewhere. Presumably you're all over here, and this one has come over here to talk to you briefly about it. What do you want to do?
Quick question. Do I
Yeah.
have enough time for a long rest?
Sure.
Thank you.
This is not going to be one of those. We still have a revivify spell scroll or something. Resurrection spell scroll. Yes, you guys have all gotten your long rest. We'll do all the rolling and stuff in a second.
All right.
What do you guys want to do about this music, if anything?
No, Cracker's gonna get out of the minuscule hut and go and check it out with them.
Okay. As you get closer, you start to hear something. It's not very clear. It's coming, it sounds like it's coming through the stone.
Do I know enough about dwarves to know that this could be something they're doing? Or dwarvish something?
Yes. Well, you could also put your ear next to the stone.
Yeah, I want to think about it first.
Oh,
Surprisingly.
okay. I feel like you need to roll an intelligence saving throw to make that decision properly.
Well, it's not my intelligence as low as my wisdom. I'm impulsive, but not totally stupid.
Okay. So you're trying to determine if what exactly here?
That, like, I know dwarves do weird stuff with stones. So I kind of wonder if this is like a do I know anything about dwarfs and sending sound through stone, or
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll. What would you say that is? History,
intimidation?
survival,
No, I'm just kidding.
intimidation? Yeah.
Survival.
You
Go
shout at the
survival.
stone, "Tell me your secrets."
Damn you. Survival.
Okay.
Okay. I'll give it a try anyway. 19?
You feel like you probably have heard dwarves do communicate sometimes through stone, but what you hear sounds a bit like singing, and what you're aware of is more of a sort of a tapping kind of a communications system. So dwarves might take a metal implement like a shovel or a pickaxe or maybe even a hammer and tap at a particularly hard and resonant vein of stone, which would then carry the vibrations along that vein and then disperse it somewhere else where other dwarves might be able to hear it. This very faintly sounds a bit like a melody, which you're not aware of is something that dwarves can do.
Okay. Cracker finds this creepy and goes back to find Lilith.
Okay.
Goes in the tiny hut and wakes Lilith and says, "Hey, this is what's going on out there. Any ideas?"
Why would Lilith know?
I don't know. Anybody? I don't want to wake everybody up.
Oh, right.
And I tell Mealy because she's sitting there too. And then I tell them about this time that I encountered this singing ghost that tried to kill me. And it was a kid. And I was so scared. And I don't want to check this out.
Right. Good point. Well done. Nice one, Yvonne.
I don't like ghosts.
Now you're being undeadish. Undeadist.
Well, both me and Sinise got a bit old the last time I saw a ghost kid. I don't like them.
That's true. They are terrifying
All I
to
know
the
it's
point
not
where
a
they
dwarf.
age you.
Do you want to check
Why
it
not?
out, Mealy?
Why not both?
Well, it could be both. I don't know. The tapping, I can deal with. The singing, no thanks.
Sure, I can come and take a look. I'm not an expert in dwarves or ghosts, but I can try.
I'm gonna come with you both.
I feel like Mia Lee's got more of an insight in ghosts than possibly anybody else, actually.
Maybe. But
So
I'm not an expert.
Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna go towards the where she shows me where she heard it.
Okay. So Jalindran will indicate a section of the wall along the east or the right-hand side of the little corner there. Here. I hear it here.
Do you know what's behind there?
No, I mean, well, as I said, we believe there's a doorway here somewhere. But I mean, look at it. It's obviously a stone wall. It's part of the structure of the cavern.
Can I do an investigation on the wall to see if I can find any mechanism that can be kind of opening a door, a button, hidden brick that you can push in, that sort of thing.
Yeah, sure.
Keyhole,
Okay.
something like that. Investigation. 11.
The surfaces are all fairly rough, as you can see. You find what appear to be odd grooves in the floor. But as far as you can tell, there's no way to lead them back to something that would move the wall or open a door or otherwise create a portal.
I really don't want to use my spells. I have so few now.
Well, you have one less.
Yeah. Level 1 or level 2? The highest level?
You can choose.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna point out the grooves in the floor. Just say that it seems like there's something here, but I can't find kind of a door or opening or anything. If I put my ear against the wall, can I hear kind of, is it just humming or can I make out words that it sounds like words that they're singing?
Yeah, let's have you can put your ear to the wall and you can have a perception check.
5. Jesus. I'm still rattled from being dead. And I don't
It's
trust the drow, so can't
it
focus.
actually yeah, that's true. It actually sounds like a lively melody, but you can't really quite make it out. It's got a bit of high energy, a little bit of tempo.
Sounds like someone's having a party.
Can I listen?
Sure.
And
At this
see
rate,
if I can.
eventually everybody will try it, and then somebody will eventually succeed.
What do you want me to do? Perception?
Yes, please. Okay. Lilith
Nice.
puts her pointy little elven ear against the wall, and
I got a pagan in my arm, eating corn in the barn, getting chicks to the farm, getting dirty in the dirt.
What does Lilith's face look like?
Very confused. I kind of
How
want to
does-
go to this party. I have no idea what's going on though.
Vandri Zorloran looks at you and says, "Did you hear it? It's quite unusual, isn't it?"
Very unusual.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. It sounds like it's not coming from this black mold anyway. But I don't know anything about it, so
Tabrak the male looks at you and says, and then he looks down at his fingertips and sort of cleans a little bit of mold off of one of them. You know, it's probably just someone celebrating the end of Gauntlgrim and having one last hurrah before it all comes to an end. That's what I do anyway.
shouldn't you have been invited?
We're not dwarves.
No.
We're drow.
Yeah, but I thought you meant that you took over and was celebrating.
Well, we'll celebrate when we retake Gauntlgrim. Maybe they're out there celebrating because maybe celebration's not the right word. More of a end of empire kind of bacchanalia. The world's coming to an end. Why waste the wine? Just drink it and enjoy it. Nothing matters anyway.
I wonder how we could get there. Do you know how to get in here?
Well, we tried to contact you since you're all up with the special magic and the new spells like the minuscule hut, which I'm still a bit doubtful of. Zapper, be quiet. No one asked your opinion. She literally just asked me, Jow. Stop telling me what to do. Just because you're older and a female doesn't mean... Jabrak, don't make me come over there. All right, I'm sorry. He forgets his place. No, we haven't contacted them. You could try to get through it. It might work. But since you rescued us, you're obviously more powerful. We assumed you'd want to investigate it.
Cracker, can you take your hammer and kind of knock on the wall to see if we can contact the one inside?
Yeah. Okay. So Cracker takes her little warhammer, and
I'm just
like
gonna
gets-
point at the wall above the grooves in the dirt that I saw. About
Okay.
here.
Okay. I'm gonna listen to the music and I'm gonna get right in time with it. And I'm gonna tap a counter rhythm.
Okay.
That crazy hoedown.
Awesome. Since we have a musical barbarian, I feel like there ought to be a way for Yvonne to role play Cracker trying to do this.
Okay.
Do you have a couple of spoons handy?
No. That would have been awesome.
And if you don't know, with 2 spoons, a hand, and your thigh, you can make some pretty slamming music.
Yep. Get a good
Maybe
rhythm going.
get a good rhythm. Maybe you got a pen or something you can bang on the table, or
Well, I can just clap.
All right,
Or
let's hear it.
I can use my hang on.
Do you want to boombox it? Can you
Can you hear
boombox?
this? Is
Yeah,
that
we can
making
hear
noise?
it.
Okay. There you
Yeah,
go. I'll use my pencil on my cup
there you go.
and make a good sound.
Give us a rhythm. All I heard was plink.
Can you hear that?
A little bit.
Okay, I'll just keep talking while I'm doing it. Da 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 da.
Okay, very good. Give us a performance roll with advantage for that
Ooh.
excellent rhythm.
10. I must be out of time. I'm not in the right tempo.
Cracker realizes that she's better at keeping time when she's using her extra attack on multiple orcs at once, or dwarves, or ogres, or whatever it may be. But it's loud enough, and that may be the key critical element. And suddenly, those of you standing near the wall, you can hear that faint music that you can hear coming through it stops completely. And then there's a very gentle
Knock back.
Cracker knocks back. Like that.
and then you hear, Mom?
No, but come on out.
Suddenly that corner, is everybody else there now, or just the three of you?
And there too.
Okay, so
Very
once-
tired though.
Okay, so the hut obviously dissipates, and suddenly the whole corner starts to shimmer, and you see that from the grooves, it's almost like magic starts to show up in the grooves, and then it starts to just sort of build on itself like thousands of minuscule little bricks, and just shimmers, and it's just light, and just starts to build up and build up and build up, and you start to see what appears to be a stone doorway, and out pops a little fellow. He's carrying a pig under his arm. He's got a harmonica on his waist. He's obviously a dwarf. And then as soon as he sees the drow, he slides the pig around. It's on a harness, so it's kind of got a loop around its shoulder, around his shoulder. He slides it around to his back like he's moving something out of the way, and he pulls out a hammer, and he gets into a fighting stance. What are y'all doing here? Who was giving me the signal?
Oh, that'll be me. Sorry. I'm just going to make sure that my body is between the drow and him.
As a half orc in a dwarven city, that isn't that much better.
Well, he might not know that, but I do.
As the elves step forward. We're being invaded. Sound the alarm. And he starts blowing on his harmonica in this ridiculous tune. It's very lively, but it also sounds like a bit of an alarm.
I think you might be too late.
Well, if you're going to say that, then I might as well pull up the turn order.
I thought these guys already took over.
Huh?
I thought and I point to the drow. Sorry, allergies. I thought these guys had already taken over.
Taking over what?
Gauntlgrim.
No.
They're just trying to.
Well, if your army's bigger than 3, you're probably okay. These are the only 3 we found down in this space.
We beat back the drow over 10 years ago.
Well, these are the leftovers.
And he takes a look at them, and he looks at you. They're infected. What y'all doing hanging out with infected drow?
Well, it's not by choice. They kind of just plopped out of one of the pods.
Oh. Oh, you released them from a pod.
Oh. Not
I
willingly.
wouldn't get. Well, that makes more sense. I want you all to back up now. Just give me some space.
Sure, I'm gonna step back.
Cracker's gonna put her arms out and kind of push the drow back.
Is she actually pushing them?
Well, my arms are out and I'm like, back up. Do they move?
Sure. They're very compliant, oddly.
Well, that's good.
Well, you signaled. What you want? And who are you?
Well, I'm Cracker. I'm a hero of Gauntlgrim, and we're looking for the king.
You're not Cracker. Cracker is 9 feet tall. She's beautiful. She's got massive arms and buttocks so tight you could bounce a gold coin off of.
Cracker shakes her hair out, stands up tall, grabs her great axe, poses a bit. You mean like this?
Yeah, you're okay, but you're no Cracker. I seen her from a distance in the ceremony.
That was me.
Nah, get out of here. Come on. You trying to pull my tail?
I'm the
And
inspector of all the taverns in this place. I don't know where they went, but that was my job.
And he squints one eye. Then he looks down at his little pig and says, Theodore, you hear this? You believe this? I think it's just a bit of pig manure. What do you think? Lady, I think you're trying to pass off a white stone as chicken egg.
All right. Are you ready? I'm not going to attack you, but it's going to look like I'm going to attack you. Don't freak out.
And he cringes back immediately and holds his pig up in front of him as self-defense.
Lilith, slap me.
Just
gonna
show
slap
him the
her.
medal. Oh, just show him a medal.
Cracker's just more intent on proving that she's Cracker. Yeah, I know about the medal, but this is what Cracker would do. And Cracker swings her great axe and sort of like this, not near him or anybody else, just sort of like in this posy move and rages out. All her muscles are popping out, and you can see all the veins on her biceps, and she's like huge.
Let's
How
hear the
about
roar.
now?
Holy shit! Well, just cut off my knees and call me a halfling. You are Cracker. Well, why didn't you say so?
Yep. There it is. Don't need no stinking metal.
Yeah. Or, the metal could have worked as well. You could have just shown me that.
Yeah, you just didn't believe me. Anybody could grab a medal. I don't know. I'm glad you believe me now. Cracker
Wow,
sort
of course. I mean,
chills out.
hey, you mind turning around and let me just bounce one coin? Just so I can say I did it.
Cracker turns around.
And then you just hear like some rummaging and then pling, and you feel like a little bump on your butt. Holy shit, that's amazing. I'm going to tell everybody about this. They won't believe it.
Everybody?
Well, I mean, with your permission, wouldn't want to offend anybody, but it's got to be the highlight of my story. I met Cracker and I bounced a gold coin off her butt.
Well, who are you gonna tell? As far as we know, Gauntlgrim It's looking pretty empty right now.
And as soon as you say this, his demeanor completely changes. And he kind of sags. All the energy comes out of him. And then he looks down at his little pig. Well, I guess that's true, actually. I hadn't thought of it. I guess I was just so excited to see somebody that wasn't overtaken by the black mold that I temporarily forgot about all my troubles.
Oh no.
I was trying to not despair, and I thought maybe a little song would cheer up poor little Theodore over here, but, well, thanks for reminding me.
I'm so sorry. I had hoped that you weren't the only one.
Oh, is that what you intended? I thought you were just trying to bring me back down.
No. Me? Never.
And then he squints his other eye, and then he looks at you sideways. Now, you wouldn't be that Byleth, would you?
Well, as a matter of fact, I actually am.
Big
And I'm also.
horns. You, oh, yeah. Oh, I see it now. I see it.
Mhm.
Go on, give me us a little magic. Come on. I mean, I can do a little magic, but not like you. Just something like it, so I can say I saw it.
I'm gonna do a minor illusion of him, just like a miniature him in my hand, looking all proud and buff.
Holy shit, that looks just like me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can do that too.
Ooh. That's so cool.
Yeah, ain't it? One day we're gonna
Mhm.
have to do a little illusion off.
Yeah. Well, I'm more into divination.
Oh, the
There can never be
future.
too many Asians here.
Excuse me?
Well, evocation, divination,
Oh,
abjuration, all that, all
oh,
welcome here.
Asians. Oh,
Mhm.
right. Yeah, I thought. Never mind what I thought. It don't matter.
No,
It's not important. It was probably just an accent thing. Wow, that's amazing. So y'all really are the heroes of gold. Well, some of you, I recognize that one. That looks like that Zenise lady. Some of you don't look familiar, but I guess things change over time. So, did you, I guess you finally heard the call. I mean, took you long enough.
Heard the call. What do you mean?
The call. King Brunor sent out the distress call months ago. You didn't
Oh,
get the call?
no.
Ugh. I guess his wizard was one of the first ones to fall, so by the time we figured it out, maybe he was already long gone. That would explain a lot. Pretty much after Maegara was escaped, I guess. It all went horribly downhill. I mean, we was doing all right, but after that, it was pretty much like working brittle iron. Just no matter how much effort you put into it, it just wouldn't come out right. The mold started to take over. The hot places went cold, and then the water filtration system stopped working too, partly because the water system stopped working. Somebody took our magical bowl of water elemental summoning, and that stopped the whole irrigation and sanitation system from functioning properly. And next thing you know, between the mold being in the water and no heat to stop killing it, the whole place started getting infected, and Well, because water is so important to so many processes here, including smithing, all the senior tradesmen and the spellcasters, they all were infected first, and, well, it kind of just trickled down from there.
Oh, I sure wish we could help.
You mean you didn't come back to help us?
Well, how many of you are left?
I
Uninfected.
don't know. I mean, I think a lot of them may have survived part of it by locking themselves up in the inner keep. King Bruno ordered the keep closed, which normally it hasn't happened since the drow attack. It's typically the last resort. They have some magic to stop it or to reverse it, but maybe not enough to save everybody all at the same time, especially if the water's contaminated. There's no real ability to get around breathing contaminated air and drinking contaminated water. That's the real problem.
Is that something a cleric can do?
Why, yes, possibly. But I mean, for the size of the city, we need something more substantial and permanent. Individually, yes, I believe so. I've got some minor ability to heal people, but not like clerics and druids can.
Do you know how to clean water, Lilith?
I can create water. And I can destroy water.
Well, maybe we should go check out the inner keep and see how they're doing. So Cracker, noticing that the drow were surprisingly passive, turns to the drow and says, so no attacking any dwarves.
Oh, well, I mean, we're not really a war party. We're just trying to get back to our people.
Good.
But you do understand, if they attack us, we'll defend ourselves.
Yeah, fair enough.
Besides, Mother Zereth, she wouldn't look very kindly if we were too forgiving of our enemies. But it feels like at the moment we all have bigger things to deal with. What's his name?
Oh, yeah, I always forget to ask that. Cracker turns back. What's your name?
Oh, well, my manners. My name's Pug, and this is Theodore. I am the king's newly appointed jester.
Well, your music is something else.
Isn't it just? I am the only dwarf bard who is a master of playing the pig pipes. In fact, they call me Porky Pug. Now, who are the rest of your party?
Cracker waves her hand. Introduce yourselves.
Well, I'm Mealy, and I bow.
And he gives you a bow in return. Charmed.
And I'm Lilith.
Greetings. You look a bit familiar.
Yeah, I was here, but I'm not the hero of Content Grim.
Well, I suppose the good news is we need more heroes, so maybe here's your chance.
Who knows?
Not with that attitude. And then he goes up to Charlotte, who's apparently still dressed in all her noble finery. And who are you, my lady?
Charlotte will curtsy. You may address me as Lady Seahauler.
Oh, my nobility. And he takes his hat off and he bows very deeply and takes one of your hands and then kisses your knuckle.
Oh, enchanté.
Oh, is that Elvish? I don't speak Elvish.
Yes. How very astute of you for noticing.
Well, technically, I'm supposed to be a bit of a master of lore, but I'm much more into the performing arts. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. And who are your drow friends? He's
I
talking to
would know
Cracker.
them.
Oh, you're
Okay.
talking to Cracker? Oh,
Well, whoever.
sorry.
He's not talking to the drow directly.
This is Jal Indren, Vandry, and Zabrak.
And the drow all nod and smile, really big smiles, which kind of puts all the elves off in your group.
They're super friendly, which is odd.
You know, that ain't so odd, actually. It's the black mold. You see that they're covered in it. It
Yes,
changes people. Evil turns to good. Good turns to evil. Lawfulness turns chaotic. And apparently, it can make friendly, nice people out of assholes and murderers. It would probably be kinder if we just put them out of their misery. We outnumber them. We can do it. They look like they're still tired from being in the pod. Usually takes a couple of days to get over it. What do you say? Shall we off them? I'll back you up.
No. No. They're good. Just keep them as they are for now.
And he squints one eye, and then he squints another eye, and squints another eye again. All right. But you know what they say. The only good drow's a dead drow.
Well, you know what they also say? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. We got bigger problems than just you against the drow. It's all of us against this black mold.
You know, I'm going to have to put that in my next song. Not just that. I'm going to call it Cracker. Iron butt, silken wisdom. Yeah, I can see it. It's going to start off as a poem and then break into a melody. And I think I'll finish off with like a washboard element. Because, you know, you got washboard abs.
Nice.
Woo-wee! It's going to be a hoot. Right. Then, what's the plan? And he slaps his hands together and rubs them, all excited looking.
Well, let's head to the inner keep.
Okay. How are we going to do that?
You don't know where it is?
Well, I mean, I know how to get there normally, but, you see, the way I came, it collapsed. One of the few wizards that was visiting from some place out up on the surface, I forget where. Silvery Moon, maybe? Emerald Enclave? I don't know, one of them elven-y kind of places. They tried to wipe out the mold at one point while they were trying to escape, and I don't know, fireball this and earthquake that. Next thing we know, that whole cavern collapsed. I barely got out alive this way, and then I got trapped. And I came down this path because, well, you know, I'm one of the original mountain dwarves, and only we can open up these hidden passages that are magically sealed. And then I came to this room and I saw all the pods, and I said, well, that's not going to work. So I just closed this door back up and I sat down. I was just hanging out there waiting for death to take me, or insanity, till y'all came along. Now, there are other passages this way, but I haven't been down them, and I didn't want to go exploring all by myself.
It wasn't that I was scared, but I didn't want to disturb Theodore. He's a little bit skittish. You can understand.
And Theodore kind of gives a squeal.
Squeak! Plus, he ain't very good at stealthing. He gets all squealing and nervous. So I just sat here and waited. We could find another passage back this way. But the sections of Grim that we didn't retake, well, they're still haunted, and there's all sorts of critters down here, aside from the drow that apparently weren't completely wiped out.
Pointing at those three.
We got a couple of mind flares, I hear. Ghosts, lots of ghosts still. Most of them dwarves, so maybe they're friendly, but you never know for sure. Depends on how they died and how they felt and how much trauma they endured. And could also be ghosts of the drow that came through. Sometimes that happens. Not usually. And there's other things too. Some of them not even intelligent. So, I mean, for myself, I'm more of a court performer and historian. I'm not really an adventurer type like y'all are. But if you guys wanted to lead the way, then maybe we have a chance.
Sounds like a plan. Do y'all think?
I think it's
Yeah.
our best option.
We need to take down illithids anyway. So if we find some, that would be cool. Because of your sword.
Totally thinking of calling him back. Like maybe he could come and give us a hand. Sword is so awesome. Okay. Well, maybe know which way we should try.
There was one passageway, I'll be honest. It looked a bit spooky. It's back that way.
And he points behind him in the tunnel that was just recently revealed.
It's clear, as far as I can tell, but it gets very narrow. To be honest, it might be a bit big for you. But we'll definitely get through it. I just don't know what's on the other side, and I didn't want to get trapped in there by myself. And, it was hard to turn around. And plus, you squeeze Theodore here at the wrong time, and next thing you know, he squeals out an alarm, just wakes up everybody, dead and living. But what we could do is we can march down there. Maybe if one of y'all's got like a little familiar companion that can go scouting, or we could sacrifice one of the drow.
And Sabrick just goes, dude, whatever, man. Just kill me already. I don't care.
See, he don't mind. He's fine with it. That's the good thing about the black mold. It totally changes their personalities. In real life, he must be a real aggressive fighter type because this guy just don't care at all.
He reminds me of somebody I went to theater school with. We used to call them the emo theater crowd.
So what y'all think?
I'll send your little friends. Cracker looks at Mia, Mealy, and Violet.
Sure, we can send Riva inside to see.
Baby up, unfortunately.
We can wait. I'm not sure it's going to make that much difference at this point. What would be really helpful is if you had that bowl of water elemental summoning or something else that could help purify a lot of water. Can you summon water elementals? Or fire elemental?
Well, I think we can maybe copy a spell to do that. If I'm not mistaken.
Don't we also still have one gem where an elemental is trapped in it? I don't know if it would obey us, though.
Yeah.
Might wreak more havoc.
Well,
And then he points around, and although I did take them off the board, remember all these corpses are still there and the burst pods. I'm not sure that you can make things any worse.
Yeah.
Maybe this place could just use a little deep cleaning.
Kind of like the idea of breaking open that gem.
Oh, don't do it here. There's no point doing it here. If they're going to go crazy in here, it's not going to do anything except just kill us all. We got to get to one of the main rooms, the forge or the aquatic center and the sanitation center. One of these areas where they've got all the water and the fire going through it. That's maybe the best bet to try to cleanse something. Although King Bruno might have a better idea.
Oh, yeah, I
If
didn't mean here.
he's-
Good point.
If he's not gone.
I think he's still with us to some degree.
Well, I certainly hope so, but I mean, I haven't seen him in a week.
Can't remember if Denise told us to talk to him.
I think she did.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cracker points to Denise. Well, she just talked to him, so he's still around now.
You spoke to King Bruno?
Yes. Kinda.
Oh, you used some.
And then he takes like 2 fingers and he puts them to his temple, and then he kind of points at your temple.
And I'm just gonna speak in his mind, yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, that's so cool. I could hear you, but your lips wasn't moving. And that was.
And then he sends you back a message. I don't know if I sent it to the right Zenise. Apparently there's more than one Zenise. Did you get it?
No.
Uh-oh. Now you got it.
Yes.
Wow. This must make gossiping so much better.
You're not the only one.
I like the way you think, Zenith. You and me's gonna be friends.
And the rest of you are all just looking at the 2 of them probably.
Woo-wee. All right. Well, this was exciting and good news. I was not expecting such good news. I think I'm gonna take a 5-minute break and have a little something to drink. Last little bit of fresh water I had on me. I was saving it for that special occasion. This gotta be it. So y'all want to head out soon?
I still need to do last few bits because we were resting and kind of disturbed. Or
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
by
Yeah,
your
I'm
music.
so sorry.
Not
Yeah.
that it didn't sound very nice. But
Would you like me to play
well,
it some more?
quietly maybe, like background music while we
I
finish up
can't
here.
do background music, man. I only got one volume setting, and that is fantastical party level. That's all I can do.
All right, then go ahead. I think we can use some good vibes.
All right. I'll tell you what. Y'all do whatever it is you need to do to wrap yourselves up here. And I'll just finish up the last couple of verses and we'll get going. Shall we call it 10 minutes?
Good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, let me just break out Theodore. Theodore, are you ready? Oink, oink.
Where do you find this stuff?
All my chicks take a sip, all my balls take a dip. Biking dips in the house, making hillbillies now. All my chicks take a sip, all my balls take a dip. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the piggies on the floor.
Hi, we hope you're enjoying this episode, and if so, please like and subscribe. And remember, the next time your DM says, roll initiative, yell back,
Here.
Hold
my
earrings. Here, hold my earrings.
This is good. I think we only need this take.
Yes, so let's pick up where we left off, and everybody can do their daily magical ablutions, as it were. Laura, would you like to go first?
I'd love to. Portent. Pew. Very nice.
Pew.
And I would like to learn the word drink.
How about pig? Banjo.
I love your suggestions. I write it down.
That is probably one of the more polite ways I've ever heard anybody tell me go fuck off.
No. I actually wrote it down. Okay.
For God's sakes, Laura, don't listen to me. I mean, life advice, career advice, how to, structure a contract, how to invest money. Yes, definitely listen to me. But ideas about what to do with your character, the last thing you want to do is listen to me. Why do you want drink, though? What are you going to do with drink?
I don't know. I just have this image in my mind where Denise and Violet, they're like, let's drink to that, and I don't know.
Oh.
Okay.
Are
But
you sure you
do
don't?
you want
Don't you want like Cheers or something? Don't you want Nostravia or something? Or
Your suggestions are too good.
I mean, it's because that's what you're really asking for is right
Mm,
as a toast, the national version of your toast.
yeah. Well, let me do drink today, and I still have
and do
too many
you
more long rests probably.
want a drink as a drink or a drink like drinking something?
Mm,
Like a command to
is it a
drink.
different word?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Shots.
Maybe as I guess as in a verb, like to drink.
Schnapps.
Pitch.
Jägermeister.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. That I just felt queasy. That brought back so much PTSD from my university days. Oh God. Oh, I genuinely feel sick.
Oh,
You don't understand. It's like a rite of passage in American universities to like, especially as a freshman, your first year in universities, is you go to parties, and of course, everybody just has cheap beer. But then the only alcohol, only real liquor they have, they don't have like whiskey yet, right? They can't afford that. They do vodka for the girls, but when you really want everybody to get drunk, you start slamming Jägermeister shots for some reason.
In university?
Oh, yes.
God,
It's
that's late.
hugely popular. And nobody likes it. They just do it all. They all do it because it's called Jägermeister, so why not, right? Because like you have to drink something called Jägermeister, and then secondly, because it's so unusual, right? It's like for most people, this is like culture. Everybody
With the
knows.
chi-
Sorry, go ahead.
it's good with the cheapest energy drink you can find. Oh.
Oh God, Jägermeister and Red Bull.
No,
My
not
God.
Red Bull. The
Bull's so
cheapest,
expensive.
the worst one.
The worst. There's worse
You
than
have to have the cheapest.
the worst. There's
Cheapest,
worse
the
than
worst
the
one.
Red Bull. Oh my God,
Yeah.
no way.
Red Bull's the brand, so it's kind of expensive, right? Of an energy
Mhm.
drink.
It's so
Ugh.
expensive here. That's
Red
crazy.
Bull?
Yeah. It's like
Well,
really small and
And
really high
twice the
price.
price.
Yeah.
someone's
Also
got to
in
pay for
comparison
all
to, I don't
those.
know, Monster or something.
Someone's got to pay for all those bizarre flying contests where they bicycle somebody in, in some sort of contraption, like a hang glider contraption off of a pier, and see how far they can go before they drop into the water. Because Red Bull does that, right? They do that and the air acrobatics shows, right? Because that's part of their brand, right? Like the motto is Red Bull, it gives you wings.
Yeah.
So they sponsor all these like flying contests, and they're if you've never seen them, they're hilarious. It's definitely worth going to see it in person. But even the videos online are hilarious. They've got these big piers, they're high up, and they build a ramp, and then people it's got to have like wheels, so it's bicycles or some sort of cart, and then you've got like wings. But you can build anything you want. You can make it look like a boat. You can make it look like a bird. People build all kinds of things, and most of them go straight into the water. It just like collapse. The whole thing is a disaster. Occasionally, you get a guy who actually knows what he's doing aerodynamically, and he actually glides for like 100 feet, which is really cool. um, so yeah. Anyway, that and the UK one where they do the racing on the road with like the bicycle contraptions. You've probably seen this, Sophie, right? I forget what they're called.
The what?
It's like an obstacle course where you start at the top of a hill and all the residents of the town line up on the side. They've got hay bales to block off the sides of the road, and you basically are in a cart or a homemade cart or contraption or bicycle with a bunch of uh, decorations around it, and people do themes. So like sometimes they dress up as like aliens in a spacesuit in like silvery glittery spacesuits, and they build like a cardboard or paper mache UFO around their bicycle, and they try to ride it all the way downhill without and there are obstacles built into the course, like you have to go over bumps and go through water hazards and make turns, and they have to try to avoid like crashing into the hay bales and going off piste into the crowd. And
What? I've never heard of that in my life.
Oh, does anybody else know what I'm talking about? Am I the only one? You guys have never seen this? Like not even on YouTube or on TikTok or something? Oh, they're so funny.
What's it called?
I don't know what it's called. It's just if you just do like crazy UK bicycle race contests, costume or something, I'm sure you'll find it. It's very, very funny, and I've seen it once in person. It was so good. It's like an annual festival. They do it all the time.
It sounds fun.
It is fun. I mean it's silly. It's totally silly. It's not like going to see, the boat races at Henley or something. It's a totally different crowd. It's not at all posh, Sophie. So if you're trying to look, if you're looking for a place to go so that you can try out your new fascinator, this is not the right one for you.
Okay.
You won't see Princess Eugenie there.
I'll stick to my tea parties.
And your cucumber sandwiches.
Nutritious.
All right. Anyway, sorry. Long digression. I apologize, Henrietta.
Drink. How is it pronounced?
Peach.
Peach.
Uh-oh.
Cute.
Not to be mispronounced.
I really think Laura knows what she's doing.
Oh no.
Well, it's very close to a Hungarian swear also.
That's very close to an American square. You don't hear it used very often in the UK, but in America, all over the place. Oh my god.
I'll never ask for a drink. Peach, please.
No, you can just ask for a drink. Like, can I get a drink? Like, when you say drink, they understand. Because mostly it's used for alcoholic beverage drink.
Daria, would you please use that word in Polish in a sentence?
Peach. Uh,
Technically,
as
one
Polish
word can be a
okay.
sentence, but more than one word
Okay.
is really what I was looking for. May I have a drink?
Piję sobie picie. No,
Okay.
peach is drinking, like drinking something.
Okay.
Very interesting. All right, cool.
Excellent. I'm curious how Laura's going to link all these things up together one day. It's going to be like the most odd, random, slightly double entendre couple of sentences that's going to lead to all kinds of diplomatic disasters.
Yeah, and then there was like a world war because she called me a bitch. What? No, I
You
think she
just
meant peach.
you just insulted the ambassador from the Yankee Nation. They've declared war.
I just
Warships
asked
are
for a
opening
drink.
up. Portals are opening up in the sky, and warships are falling down from the sky everywhere, dislodging thousands of Yankee soldiers wielding two-handed swords, slaying the populace. I just wanted some Jägermeister.
Just say poproszę drinka. Please, may I have a drink?
Now that's 4 days. That's 4 long rests.
No, she asked for proszę. Please.
Okay.
I think.
Yes. Yes. Are you
That I
keeping track of
know.
her vocabulary too? Wow, you guys. All right, I can't get around this. All right, 20 minutes later, let's restart. Okay. I apologize to everybody else who is like zoning out. Henrietta's silence is quite telling.
Don't have much to add to this.
As long as you're not as long as you're not like, this is a waste of time, people. Okay. Fine. You guys have done all sorry, who else has to do something? Does anybody else have to do anything?
I
Yes,
do.
please.
Me.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, Sophie. Go ahead.
My horn of good berries.
Yes. And don't forget that Rua has them too. So Rua could have also brought back Mealy.
Yeah, but it happened so fast that he didn't have a turn.
You keep saying that, but wasn't Mealy attacked by the zombies on the zombies' turn?
Yeah, but their turn were right after mine. And I think we had Rua go before he had already had his turn.
My point is that Mealy was down by a zombie on its turn. And then the next turn around, the zombies attacked Mealy again.
Yeah, right. But in that case, I hadn't said that he had a good berry.
Okay.
So I couldn't use it. That was why he didn't do it, because I hadn't kind of announced that he had a good berry from the last time.
I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm simply saying there was a whole full turn because the zombies only attacked on their turn, and then they attacked again on their turn. Right?
Yeah.
It didn't happen all in one turn. Mealy was down for a whole turn, so everybody had a chance to save Mealy. Or anybody else for that matter. So just everybody remember, you've got your good berries for a reason. Right? So please, I feel like the school teacher on the excursion to the zoo. Everybody stay together with your partner. You're responsible for each other. Okay. So who's got a good berry?
Everyone's got 2 except me and Lilith. We got 1 each.
Okay. Yvonne, how many good berries does Cracker have?
2.
Laura, how many good berries does Byleth have?
2.
And she's not putting one in her yogurt. to like eat for breakfast.
That would be so cool.
It'd
Not
be so
today.
filling. Yeah. I don't have to ask Daria and Anita because I know they know how many good berries they've got. Sophie?
Huh? Just 2.
Okay. And how many fireballs does Zanifs have, Daria?
Depends.
Yes, maximum. Maximum is it 4?
Yes. Well, if I change some spell slots to sorcery points, more. 5.
Wow. Wow.
6.
Wow. All right.
Mm.
6. So there you go. Let's hope you don't run into something that's immune to fire damage. That would be a shame, wouldn't
Yes.
it?
I've got DM favorite spell for that.
I'm expecting some of you to have a workaround. I'm just saying, in this group of everybody, almost everybody casts Fireball. It would be a shame if you ran into something that had immunity to fire damage. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm pointing out. At the same time, you do need something to help wipe out the mold, so fire is one option. Okay, very good. Horn of Good Berries. Everybody's got their allocation. And Rua has how many, did you say?
I'm gonna give mine to Riva. So yes, 1.
So, okay, so Hermiele's got 0.
Mhm.
Okay. And Sophie, you're never going to take the Find Familiar spell and get a familiar yourself? I'll help you do the art if you'd like.
I have a familiar. Have you
Oh.
forgotten?
I have forgotten.
Hattie.
My hat,
Oh,
Ratty. My rat, Hattie.
Your hat, Ratty.
My rat, Hattie. See?
What do you like that that cook who wears the French chef,
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille?
It's secretly the rat who wants me to be queen.
I never understood their decision to make a rat the mascot for this. I mean, I guess the wordplay makes sense, but it's like the idea of a rat in a kitchen sounds so unsavory. Okay, yes. So you've got a familiar. Do you want to give any to your familiar? Say so now. Remember,
Yes. Yes.
okay. How many?
1.
Okay. And is Byleth are any going to Ivy, or are you going to summon Ivy at all?
Yeah. Ivy.
All right.
Ivy the owl. My favorite. And I'm gonna give 1 to Ivy.
Okay. So Ivy, Laura was good enough to have Byleth roleplay getting a harness for Ivy. I think Rua's got one too now, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Henrietta. But Sophie, did you do that? Did you create a harness? Do you have Charlotte get a harness for Hattie?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. So, and Hattie's come back as a rat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we can say that Hattie can rat. This is very confusing. Hattie can carry it in her mouth. But maybe the next time you have a chance to do it, like if you're somewhere in town or someplace where you're talking to somebody who has some skills, like the tieflings or something, you can have them do it, just so we can keep it sort of consistent.
Make a harness that fit to carry good berries in.
Yeah, but it wouldn't just be for like a rat. It would be for like any small sized creature, so that in case you choose a form that would make it harder to deliver a good berry, we can say that she's got it and it's pretty consistent across the group.
Okay.
And it won't cost that much money, like maybe 5 gold pieces.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'm sorry, Ida, I know you did say you wanted Lilith to do something before we set off, and I kind of pushed it back by accident, but is there something Lilith would like to do?
Yes, I want to remove my spell aid.
Oh, that's a good spell. Okay.
Yeah, I know, but I'm
Okay.
gonna have Revivify instead.
Revivify? Uh-huh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Revivify and Prestidigitation, 2 of the more difficult tongue twisters for native English speakers, much less non-native English speakers.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a diamond? It does consume a 300 GP
Oh,
or value diamond.
okay. I don't have a diamond, I don't think. I
We
thought
have one.
we could pay 300.
So you have to have the diamond. The diamond
okay.
is the... So the way it works is because D&D 5th edition is so ridiculously video gamey to help appeal to the younger generation of people who just respawn, when they're playing whatever it is, Halo, for example. One of the few controls they have in for people not actually feeling like, like Sophie's response very reasonably, right? That she never felt worried when her character died is because, you guys all bring them back, right? There's no long-term repercussions. You literally take a long rest and you're healed to magically perfection, right? Which doesn't work in real life. And even in 1st edition or 2nd or 3rd edition AD&D, you had to rest for like a week to heal fully. So literally you'd have to go to town, stay in town for a week, and things, you didn't want to lose 1 hit point in battle if you could avoid it. So the one way to stop this respawning problem is to have a limitation on diamonds. Some DMs don't use it at all. They don't bother with it. Some DMs just use the currency limitation. Most DMs I know say the diamond is required, and that's one way to keep a limitation on it. So the good news is your DM never puts you in a position where you can't get a solution out of what you need. It's up to the players to remember to do it. So don't blame me if you're on a massive lake in the middle of the Underdark surrounded by aquatic and semi-aquatic races and nobody thinks to get a pearl, or they're in an island or an archipelago or peninsula surrounded by fishermen and huge seafaring races and nobody thinks to get a pearl until they're suddenly surrounded by stone and fire elementals for the identify spell. But if you're going to look for a diamond, there's no better place probably than in a city full of dwarves that spend all day mining for gems and valuable resources in the stone and the earth. And I think you guys might have 1 diamond, like you said.
Yep. The purple worm.
Yes.
It's in Dalin's backpack.
So if you want to cross that off and say that you gave it to Lilith.
Yep.
And Lilith, if you want to say that you got a diamond from Dylan's backpack, purple worm diamond from Dylan's backpack on your inventory. And then you can prepare Revivify. And we can do all that immediately, so it takes 2 seconds.
Okay.
Awesome.
Uh,
But just
okay.
remember, next time you get a chance, you've got to get some more of those if you need them.
Yeah.
And it may even require the party chipping in, which isn't unreasonable because, again, think about it. Ida, although I want to emphasize everybody has their agency because it's fun when you can get to do the things you want to do, right? Ida's playing Lilith much more generously than the rest of you pretty much need to, because Lilith has to set aside a certain amount of her ability to do cool stuff, right? Resources, actions, etc., spell preparation slots for saving the party. So, she's using up her spell preparation slot and keeping 1 spell slot, presumably in reserve, in case she needs it. the rest of you guys, if you have resources like gold, chip in. It makes it a little bit easier for Ida to play her character for the benefit of everybody, which I'm very grateful to her for. So thank you, Ida. Okay. Does anybody else want to do any preparations before you guys head out?
Yes, I just want to change my tidal wave for fireball.
Okay. I just said that you guys have maybe too much. Okay, yeah.
But it's fine because I can change damage types, remember?
Right.
So I'm just built like that.
Did- I was gonna say something and then I realized that actually sounds really inappropriate, so I'm not going to say it at all. That is very funny. Well done, Sophie. Good Lord. You guys are terrible. All right, very good. So Laura's got her stuff done. Daria, nothing for you.
No.
Okay. And nothing for Cracker, really. Okay. All right. And you guys have all summoned your familiars, obviously.
Mhm.
Okay. Good. So, Pug or Porky Pug. Somebody's sniffling quite loudly. I'm sorry you're sniffling. Is that Laura?
Yeah, it's the allergies.
Do you want to mute yourself, blow your nose properly, and then see if you can give yourself a few minutes of peace and quiet?
Sure.
Not that we don't love the sound of mucus coming from you, but let's keep it to the role playing. So at least wait until you get, infected with black mold or something.
Yeah, it's just all the black mold around. Allergic to that.
Understood. I mean, I could be, blowing my nose, but I'm sure you wouldn't want to hear that. Okay. Porky Pug will say, well, now that y'all have gotten yourselves all prettified and ready to go, and Theodore's had his morning walk, shall we head out?
Let's go.
After you.
Well, maybe Cracker wants to take the lead.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but did we want to have a peek down the hall first?
Sure. It's just this way. And he sort of steps aside and he extends a left arm out down the passage.
And Cracker heads down the path.
It's quite uneven. And it's going deeper into the Earth's mantle. Unlike most of this rest of this area, which is semi-finished but very clearly has been worked by dwarves, this looks closer to, it's not quite natural because it's a bit too uniform, but it's so rough hewn. You're not entirely sure if dwarves made it or if it's a combination of somebody just taking advantage of a bit of natural fissuring in the geology to try to create some space. And it's, in some areas it's uniform, but in some areas it does narrow considerably, and then widens up again. And it almost raises the question, whoever did carve out a bit of space, why didn't they just continuously do it, right? Rather than, leave these little narrowing blockages. It's almost like somebody wanted to make it hard to find or hard to get into. Cracker finds it an extremely uncomfortable fit. It's so tight that the only thing she can do is stab forward if she had to get into a fight. She wouldn't be able to swing anything. And all she can do is use a light weapon, like a dagger.
Cracker's not comfortable with this.
Well, does Cracker have a light weapon? Or she can improvise it with an arrowhead or something?
Yeah, or I could jab with a spear. Is that too big?
The spear works in terms of jabbing forward, but the length is also a bit of a problem.
Okay, I still have my fish fillet knife, my dagger.
Yes. Yep, that'll work. Yep, that's fine. The rest of you also are somewhat limited. Cracker being a little bit bigger has the hardest time of it. Obviously, most of you can cast spells, so it's not really an issue. The only one who has any real problems, aside from Cracker, is Lilith, who, although she's not particularly huge, is wearing extremely rigid armor and carries a shield. Lilith, you must go sideways. You are unable to use your shield at all. Furthermore, you can only use one hand, which means, although you can use the other hand as a spell casting to hold your spell casting focus, you're going to be somewhat limited in what you can do. You'll have disadvantage fighting, as will Cracker. The rest of you can pretty much manage to do it the way you normally would. The only problem is that if you guys wanted to try to reverse course and back out of there, it would be a real problem. Are there any questions? What's the order of march, please?
Do we want to send Rua down to peek around the corner just before we?
Sure, I can fly down.
You sure you don't want to just give the drow a bit of a prod in the back? I mean, there's 3 of them.
You're right. Maybe we should do that. I hear they have excellent eyesight. So
Yeah, they're really good at underdark traveling. They can see really far.
yeah.
Yeah, but if the first thing they encounter is a dwarf, they're dead.
You know,
And Pug runs his finger along part of the wall.
this looks a lot like it's got traces of obsidian. I think this might originally have been partly carved out by lava, which means there could be fire at the end of this.
That's a good thing.
Well, it certainly means that it should be free of mold if it's hotter.
Yeah.
But I don't really know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because we don't have a lot of fire in Gauntlgrim anymore. And well, I don't know. It just I'm just glad I'm not going first. Whew, it's hot.
Okay. Doesn't look like the drow is going, so I'm gonna send Rua.
Okay.
I'm going to look through his eyes.
You're going to look through Rua's eyes.
Yes.
All right. How far are you sending Rua? The maximum?
Yeah. Well, it depends on what he's meeting on the way.
As far as it takes for him to die, Rua
No.
just screeches and then Okay. Yep. Rua goes about 100 feet. The whole time, you can see through his eyes, and it just twists and turns. It's definitely very bendy. It's also obvious that at some point, you realize that this has been deliberately made to be difficult to traverse. The ground is very, very worn. And although the rest of the walls look a bit worn, the ground looks like it's been worn from a fair amount of travel. But at the same, and also the edges of the walls seem to narrow and get even closer and closer. And they are also a bit worn. But at the same time, it doesn't make any sense that they have to be that narrow. You'd think with that kind of effort, with very little effort, somebody could have chipped away at it. And the further Rua goes, the more the walls and the floor turn into pure obsidian. And towards the end, you're basically walking surrounded by glass, pushing up against glass. Rua finally comes out into a cavern. This cavern is not natural at all. It is lit by braziers that are burning continuously. Rua will report back that there is a smell of incense in the air. It is still and quiet, dry and warm.
No sign of people.
Completely uninhabited as far as Rua can tell.
I'm telling the party all of this. Should we just go to the hall?
Yep, sounds good.
Cavern, opening room, what do you want to call it?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. You have to
Okay,
go first, Cracker. You're first.
Cracker's
You
so
guys can-
uncomfortable with this.
you guys can put yourselves at the top there.
I haven't got anything oily in my. Well, forget it.
Oh, you're gonna try to lube yourself up
Yeah,
like a stick of butter.
to get through the tunnels, but we didn't need to.
Let me get our various friends and entourage. Okay. Yeah. Make room. It's a bit tight back here. Could you all move forward a bit?
Cracker knows better than just to run into the space now. So maybe want to
Does
look
she?
around first before we run down the stairs onto this floor.
Does she? I thought you said
Yeah.
she had low wisdom.
Well, low wisdom, but lots of experience with this crew.
Mm-hmm.
And I got told off by Lilith many times.
Once.
Never.
And technically, there was a plan at the time. This time, not so much.
Well, am I looking around? Checking things out? Do I see any like obvious traps or anything? Can I survival check a
It wouldn't be much of a trap if it was obvious now, would it? Look at me, I'm trapped. Don't step on me.
don't trip this wire here that's so obviously marked?
Although I did
There-
leave you guys once a little welcome mat that said obviously not a trap, and then somebody stepped on it and it blew up and they were surprised.
So there's no mold or pods or anything in here?
No. Completely bone dry. And
And there's kind of openings to other rooms here and on the other side?
yes, so what you see is that there are a number of passages here and here, as you pointed out. And these are, they were passages, but they seem to be filled in with debris from a cave-in or something. They could probably be reopened with enough effort, which may include magical effort, but at the moment they don't appear to be open.
Do I hear anything?
Yeah, have a perception check.
Oh, sorry, I still have my advantage on 9.
Nothing that you literally hear nothing other than the breathing of your party and the occasional crackle from the flames.
Stop breathing so loud. I can't hear anything.
Sorry. Everybody looks around.
Cracker's going to move to here. And is going to ready her great axe in case we are attacked.
Okay. Everybody give me a I'm not going to tell you what it is. Give me a wisdom check. Okay. Ironically.
Yep.
Denise doesn't like it. Mealy doesn't like it. Violet doesn't like it. You three especially feel like you've felt this kind of energy before, but this is much stronger. But you can't place it. None of you can place what it is. The place
So
is
it's not like when we kind of entered the room with Asmodeus?
point of inspiration.
Yeah.
It does feel like that. And you realize the difference is that this has more of a dwarven feel to it. But if dwarves worshipped Asmodeus, this is how it would feel.
I'm gonna take 2 steps back. Because I was trapped with Asmodeus last time. I'm just gonna say I really don't like this. This feels wrong. And I'm going to look over at Pug and ask, do you know what place this is? Is this a kind of temple or?
I have never seen this place before in my life. I didn't even know this place existed. I mean, that stairwell we came down. Honestly, that didn't look like it should be there. I don't know what's going on. But all I know is it's making the hairs in my beard stand up. Shh, I'm sorry. Keep it quiet, Theodore. I'm sure whoever's here doesn't like pig. I mean, who would want to eat a pig?
Is there any kind of these here are these statues or?
They have all been defaced.
Okay.
There's no signs at all.
Well, what do you want to do?
I would suggest sneaking, but that usually don't go so good.
Sorry, what did you say, Ida? Suggest what? Leaving?
No, sneaking across the
Oh,
room.
oh,
like
oh,
stealth.
sneaking.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody has to go across the room.
Yeah. If I feel what I think I'm feeling, I don't think sneaking will help.
Well, I don't feel anything.
Then you go sneak over.
Clank, clank, clank.
Quick. I kind of have the same feeling that I did in the room where we saw the statue of Asmodeus. Kind of a creepy, overwhelming feeling. And I don't like it.
I'm gonna go back and be like, I'm not gonna sacrifice myself.
Hey, look, you guys have another dwarf. You can throw another dwarf in there and sacrifice his soul. Not like you guys don't have form in this matter.
Asmodeus? Y'all have dealt with Asmodeus?
Well, kind of.
I mean, what makes you think it's Asmodeus?
I'm a dwarf. I'm a mountain dwarf. And he sort of puts his hand on his chest, tilts his head, gives you that kind of slightly nodding, arrogant, know-it-all nod of his head. We are experts in stone masonry, I'll have you know. And I don't see anything here that looks like Asmodeus. I mean, I'm not an expert on Asmodeus. All I see are a couple of statues that have been worn out with time or something else, and some braziers that are burning with no obvious sign of being taken care of, a couple of collapsed tunnels, and two other tunnels that look like they're open. What makes you think it's Asmodeus? I don't see any
I'm-
signals on the ground. There ain't no priests running around sacrificing people.
I'm not saying it is Asmodeus. I'm saying that it feels like it. And I think that there's some kind of more divine power in here, or at least something very powerful, if not divine.
Well, this is a
But
big temple, and apparently there's more space to it because you can sort of see around the corner there that it definitely extends out further. If we want to get to the throne room, maybe this will take us into the city.
I'm going to look at one of the drow, female drow, and I'm just going to say that you are protected by Loth, right? Maybe you should check it out. See what's down there. Loth will protect you.
You can roll whatever you like, Henrietta.
Try. I am going to roll. Can I roll religion?
Sure. Why not? I feel
Why
like
not?
this is close to ridiculous.
12.
Vandry looks at you and then looks at her cousin and then looks at Sabrak.
Sure. I don't really sense anything. Do you, cousin?
No, I don't. Although I will say I don't feel quite myself, so I don't really trust my senses. Why don't we ask the male to go?
Oh, fine. I'll go. Why don't I? I mean, I'm just the male. Who cares if I die? Really getting out of the way.
Yep.
And Sabrak makes his way down carefully. He pulls out his sword in one hand, and he's got a small hand crossbow in the other. And he gets to the middle of the room. He sort of turns around, does a 360, spreads his arms out wide. It looks empty to me. There's nothing going on here. I can't see anything. There's obviously something down this tunnel. I see more light.
It needs to do your mind thing, and he can go check.
Okay, go check.
You want me to just walk down there by myself?
I'm gonna cast telepathic speech and tell in his mind, go.
So you will always be with him.
I look
Right.
at Mealy.
Right to the very end. For as long as necessary. Didn't that dwarf say something about you being the heroes of Gauntlgrim? Shouldn't at least one of you come with me? The big one, maybe?
I think you'd want someone a little sneakier than me.
You're not wearing metal armor. You're pretty sneaky. Or,
Ah,
fine, I'll take one of the wizards.
you could Misty step back to us.
I can't Misty Step.
No. I turned to the wizards. The wizards.
The
I think that's right.
wizards.
The whole party.
The wizard clan.
The wizard clan.
Yeah, don't say that. Seriously.
Oh yeah. Does anybody else want to go? Silence. Okay.
You guys are living up to
I feel it too.
your team name, the Crickets.
I will go.
Okay.
And I'm gonna connect with Cracker. If I die, I will haunt you.
Yeah.
I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts.
You should start.
We only seen a couple, so
Yeah, I just figure if I don't believe in them, maybe they'll go away. Okay.
I'm gonna have Rua follow them so I can see.
Okay. And Rua goes with them. And as they travel down a wide corridor, they get to the end of it, and it opens up into a large cavern.
Yeah.
And they
fuck
just see.
I'm gonna turn around.
Huh.
Okay, well that's a nightmare. Don't go that way.
And when you get back, Pug asks, "Well, what'd you see?"
Nothing worth mentioning. We shouldn't go that way.
Was it blocked?
If you are that curious, you should go check it yourself.
I mean, is it dangerous?
Like I said,
Well,
Oh,
since all three of you came back by yourselves, he'll go, I guess I've got to go take a look myself then.
I'm gonna stop him.
Okay.
Don't. If you wanna have your soul, don't.
And when you say that, Pug, who has up till now generally been infectiously upbeat, with the rare exception of being reminded of the disaster affecting his home city, his facial expression drops and his normally pink skin turns blanch white. My soul? I mean, the black mold's already taken everybody's bodies and minds, and now we've got to deal with our souls too? Look, the real question is it blocked? If it isn't blocked, maybe we can get out of here. And if it isn't infected by the black, maybe this is a way to get out into the city and maybe even find a solution to the mold. We can't go through the main entrance because the main entrance, that's horribly covered by mold and pods and Dumathoin knows what else. But this place doesn't seem affected at all. Whatever's here is protecting it. Didn't you? And then he looks at Cracker. Didn't you say something to me about your enemy's enemy's your friend? I mean, isn't that kind of the same idea here?
I don't know with this guy. His deals are a little too rough.
Lilith gonna be like, what did you see?
I'm just gonna tell them what I saw.
How would you describe it? How would Zanice describe it, Daria?
It was a big opening with something like a throne room or something like that, with a Prince of Hell statue in it. It feels bad. And if the mold is not here, that means that whatever it is here, it's worse than that.
I understand your point, and I've heard a little something of Asmodeus. Bards need to be knowledgeable of lots of lore and history, and even the dwarves have had to deal with him and his devil kind. But I'm desperate. My people are dying. My king is dying. I've got to do something to save my city. And if I can get the heroes of Gauntlgrim to the throne room, and the path lies through some doorway with some scary statue or something, it's a risk I've got to take. I mean, there's nobody here. There's no one here. Look at this place. And he swings his arms around wide. It doesn't look like anybody's been here for a very long time. I mean, the fires are burning, but I'm pretty sure they're magical. They could just be continuous. The stonework's dilapidated. It's clearly nobody's doing any real maintenance on it. It was carved by dwarves, but
I don't think any real dwarf, if it was inhabiting in a place like this, they would leave all this masonry cluttered about, and some of these cornices look like they need some refurbishing, and that buttress looks like it could go any minute. Plus those two entrances down there, they look like they collapsed maybe 100 years ago. Even a single dwarf could have cleared some of that by now. I think I've got to go check. We've got to go take a look. Isn't it a risk worth taking to save the lives of thousands of innocent dwarves? And there's other people down here too. There's gnomes and a couple of elves and some humans. You said you were here to help the king. And don't forget your drow people, and he starts talking to the drow. They're down here too. If they're infected.
If they're infected, that might be kind of nice. All right. I hear the roar of an engine. Choo choo. Let's go.
Hey. Hey.
I see where the tracks lead.
Hey.
Let's roll this train out of here.
For those of you who missed the reference, Yvonne is not so subtly implying that I'm railroading.
In a very clever way.
I am not railroading you. If you would like to turn around and go back, you're very welcome to do so.
No, I didn't like that tunnel either. Let's go.
I mean, look, he's the king's appointed jester and historian. What else is he going to say?
True.
And you are the heroes of Gauntlgrim. You've
I'm
got
not.
medals.
I don't.
There's one in your bag, I think.
Well, it's not mine.
Mia Lee's like, see ya.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be here.
Don't owe you anything.
Yeah, Mia Lee and Lilith, the two elves, are going to survive this.
Do you have any popcorn? Can fit on the stairs. Just for two.
You don't have a diamond over to in case anyone dies?
Diamond?
Yeah. Don't you have diamonds down here?
This is Gauntlgrim. Of course we have diamonds. We got rubies, emeralds. We have mithril. Have you seen real mithril? Beautiful. It's so beautiful. It shines with an inner light.
You're not carrying a diamond right now?
And then he suddenly clutches Theodore very closely. Why do you ask?
In case I need to bring someone back to life?
Presumably that's the real reason why you're asking.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll persuasion. And Daria, would you like to roll an opposing check? Charisma? Or, well, you just rolled D20. And he straightens up. Well, against my better judgment, you do make a good point. And if I'm asking you to all put your lives at risk, I suppose it's a small sacrifice. And then he turns, bends over, lifts Theodore up into his two little hands and holds Theodore up at face level and looks very solemnly at his pig. Theodore, I am so sorry. And Theodore goes, squeak. I promise this will never happen again. But this time I need to do what's right for everybody. We all have to make little sacrifices. And then he closes his eyes and he turns Theodore around. And you don't really see what happens. All you see is that he holds Theodore in one hand by the belly, and suddenly his other hand disappears, and you just see the face on Theodore as he goes, squeak! And he hands you a diamond. It's a little bit dirty.
I'm holding my hand out and say, thank you. I hope we don't need to use it.
It's a bit smelly. Pug just
Gonna-
sort of looks embarrassed. And then you notice that Pug and Theodore aren't looking at each other.
I'm gonna use prestidigitation on it.
It's magically clean. The diamond is
you.
clean. I'm not so sure about Theodore and Pug's moral relationship. Sorry, did you want to say something?
No, nothing more than thank you.
It's all right.
Let's go and save some lives.
And then Pug leans into Zenise. Would you mind terribly? And he holds his dirty hand in front of Zenise.
Yes, of course. And I cast it again.
Phew. You know, once I did that, Theodore can't really be played as a pig pipe anymore. So I'm down to my harmonica, but that's not really so sanitary, if you know what I mean. All right. Well, thank you all for agreeing to help my king and my people. You know, we don't have to go this way if you don't want. We could go the other way. Ain't no train,
Let's roll.
cracker.
Cracker's gonna go first because my soul's already spoken for.
Pretty much true of everybody in this group.
Yep.
I'm gonna go last and I'm not gonna enter the room. I'm just gonna stay in the entrance.
Somebody has to stay back to drag bodies out.
Yep.
Okay. You guys are at the foot of these rather impressive steps carved out of what appears to be pure obsidian. You know, obsidian is a naturally occurring mineral. It happens when the volcanic heat comes in contact with fine sand, and it produces a form of naturally occurring glass, just like you make glass with sand and heat. But it usually happens in smaller quantities and irregular levels because sand itself isn't normally in such large quantities and uniformly cooked. But if you look around, this is a tremendous amount of obsidian. And although dwarves aren't famous for obsidian mining, it is a valuable commodity. It's even considered a semi-precious stone for a lot of surface races. They make jewelry out of it, special weapons. For the dwarves not to have noticed this, for this to have gone hidden and then utilized by some hands to create this beautiful, if ominous, location, that says something very powerful about it. I suppose we should go up to the top and see if anybody's home.
Yep. Let's do that.
Oh, Yvonne, the resignation in your voice.
I just know what's coming. Or I think I know it's.
What's coming? What do you think's coming? Go
I don't
ahead.
know. Another encounter
Let's-
with Asmodeus? One that we won't escape quite as easily?
Another encounter with Asmodeus?
What?
What?
How could it be?
Surely not. Anybody else want to guess what it is? Maybe it's that lich band I was talking about.
Who is that hot demon guy that we met that one time?
Oh no.
No. Grats.
Oh, yeah. Grats. The original hairband demon. And you step through the portal, the doorways, into a gigantic chamber. It's easily 100 feet high in the air, dominated at the back by a carved statue of what appears to be Asmodeus, carved in something other than obsidian. It looks like marble. That we don't have marble here. Somebody must have transported all that stone in. What is this place?
I don't think we're in Gauntlegrim anymore.
And I'll get your little dog Toto too. And that's where we'll stop this week. All right. Well done, Henrietta, spotting that one from far away. There's so many gods, there's so many demons, there's so many evil objects and items and people and creatures. Why did you think it was Asmodeus?
Just a feeling.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be an evil night. Tonight's gonna be an evil night. Ooh.
Let's just hope that Euripides has found a good accountant.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking. Maybe we've made a new friend.
Yeah, maybe. My enemy's enemy is my friend.
Yep.
And
He
if
could
somebody else
probably
from
bring some fire from hell, can't he?
That'd be good. Warm.
he's certainly going to be immune to fire, that's for sure. All right. Well, that was most exciting.
It was.
Thank you very much, everyone, for
Thank you.
another amazing session. I hope everybody has an amazing and lovely week, and I shall see you all next Sunday.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks.
It was a lot of fun.
Okay, thanks. And I will spare you the outro music. So,
Oh, please.
Honestly, what was that? Where did you get that?
hey, it's you know, a DM never divulges his secrets.
Is this your new band?
Yep, absolutely. That's me. Yep.
All right.
Porky and the Pugs. That's us. All right, everybody. Love you. See you next week.
Bye.
Alrighty.
Bye.
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 See you
See you next
guys.
week.
Bye.
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 Bye.